No, stop. Hopkins, I'm a goner. You gotta get yourself out of here, okay? Before you do, you promise me one thing. Tell my story.
I will. I swear. I was telling a story just the other day to like a bunch of people. I forget who all was there, but I was telling them a story, and it was like, it went awesome. It went awesome, the story. I got you.
Right. Could you, sorry, just for me, could you like do a quick practice run of my story?
Grainer, what? There's no time.
Just for my piece, you know, before I go, I'd love to kind of hear your like take on it. Like what you have in mind for the story.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
Just a quick run through would be awesome.
Okay, sure. So I'd be like, you remember Lieutenant Grainer? Well, funny story about that guy. Or I could do like, I don't have to do a funny story. I could say like, well, sad story, he died.
So see, that's not even a story. That's just kind of the end. You just said the ending was kind of. There was nothing. There's no substance.
No. Yeah, I was doing that like a hot start. Like, so I say like, Lieutenant Grainer, he died. But before that, he did like a bunch of awesome stuff, which was, for example, and then bam, we're back at the beginning. I don't have to. That's just an idea of how I could tell it. I don't have to tell it like that if that doesn't. That's just like, I think that structure is really like fresh in my head because I was just watching, what is that movie? I was just watching that movie where instead of starting at the beginning, they just like drop you into the middle.
Right, in medias res, right?
No, not that one. I've never seen that movie. I think it was like a Mission Impossible. It might have been one of the DreamWorks Trolls films. Mike was there. He'd remember. You know Mike? I don't know his last name.
You know, maybe Colonel Fritz is close by. I mean, he's a natural storyteller. He's got one of those voices that really commands a room.
He's gone. He was in the dropship when it exploded. When the thing hit the it was over by the where the dropship exploded. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
Could you maybe drag my body over to the tanks? I could die over there.
No, Grainer, I got you. I can do this. I can tell your story. I don't have to do the like hot start thing. I could fully start at the beginning.
Okay.
I could say like when he was born, way before he ever would have died, Lieutenant Grainer, or Lil Ludi, as they called him back then.
Not accurate.
Was born in, pretty sure, Michigan.
Okay.
And it was, statistically, would have been cold on a cold night, or on a beautiful, dark, and stormy morning. Among the pines, he found his first breath. And there was, I think part of the problem for me is that I don't really see the setting.
Setting?
Like, who am I telling this story to? Is this like your widow and your kids, or is it like, am I in like a storytelling competition like The Moth?
No, I don't know. Like my funeral? I don't know, a bar? Just tell people.
It's just like a lot to keep track of. So I don't know how to like organize it all so that it all sounds like really cool, which could just be alphabetical. Or I could see just like how a chatbot would write it out.
No chatbots, okay? That's kind of the whole point of the friggin' war.
Right.
Mention the mission to Hartford, or our stakeout at the Lone Bridge, my last stand at Cyborg Forge. Just like highlight the main events. People can fill in the like heroism and sacrifice on their own, I guess.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'd say all of that stuff.
Good.
I'd make all of that sound cool.
Good.
And then I'd do like, you were like Princess Poppy, saving all your friends from like the terrifying Bergens.
And is that a reference to the...
That's from the first Trolls movie, yeah, by DreamWorks Trolls.
Got it.
Branford. That's Mike's last name, Branford.
Got it.
Bradford. No N, maybe.
Could we maybe get someone on the radio?
Yes. There might still be time to save you.
Maybe if we... No. Oh, no. I'm a goner. My guts are being held in by force right now. If you try to move me, I'd definitely like hot pocket out.
Okay.
I meant more like get on the radio so I could tell my own story, maybe record it.
You know what though, I think I'm realizing I lost the radio. The other day when we were down in the basement, we were fighting the robots and I dropped it. The radio, not the robot. And then I pulled out my laser gun and I was like, pew, 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 and then I totally dropped it. The robot, not the gun or the radio. So best bet is...
Hopkins, no one's coming. It's just us, so we gotta make do with what we got. So tell me, please, for the love of God. Are you familiar with the hero's journey? Have you read any like Joseph Campbell?
No.
Well, buckle up, soldier. Right, so this is a story circle. Yeah? Yeah, use my blood and write it in your hand. Tell the story you know, right? You were there.
That's true. Should I do like sad stuff or should I not do sad stuff?
You could do sad stuff, yeah.
Sad stuff.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Grainer said proudly.
Descriptive, nice.
Okay. And then there's a version where it starts in the middle and then it goes to the beginning. But I'm not married. Did you have any mentor figures other than me? And this hasn't been a dream any of the time, right? Or did you have a love interest?
My wife.
Okay, that feels a little thin.
Maybe a midpoint. Just the hits on the cyborg stuff. Motifs. That tractor beam wasn't focused on my left hand where I pulled out a pistol. That's so good. Grandpa, I just need like 1 more minute. I gotta finish something over here. Yeah, I'll be right there. Okay, let's talk about plans and payoffs.
This is the first time you died, right? I don't even necessarily need to include your social security number. There's this other time where I was hearing a thing and I think it was at school and I totally got it. And it feels like that time when I got it.
And then we return to the beginning, having changed. You're ready. Tell my story. I'm gonna go now. Okay.
That moment, Lieutenant Grainer was gone. But the good he brought into this world would stay with us forever. Grainer lived his last day as he lived his whole life. In service of his family, his country, and doing what he loved most. Killing robot scum.
Whoa, man. That's kind of a messed up thing to say.
Sorry, I just thought it was a good story. I was just trying to tell the story.
Just know your audience, man.
So you were saying, have you been on the apps for long, or are you just sort of like getting back on it? You were saying you're just sort of getting back into the dating pool?
I don't think this is gonna work.
And then sometimes you do an end tag, which is like a little something after the story's
Like I finish the story and then I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah,
And then I like,
yeah,
maybe I bring back up the trolls thing there.
sure.